Okay. Hey, everybody. So here we are live for what is the Photoshop Virtual Summit 3. How's it going, everybody? Dave, Lisa, Anya.
Hi.
Okay, so let's first ask everyone, where are you watching from? Let us know as people come in. Let us know where you're watching from. And then while that is happening, Anya, I noticed that the your screen sharing somehow popped away. So maybe you could click on share and we could set that up before we go live or get in the midst of things.
I'm sorry, what do you mean? I'm still sharing my screen?
No, it's not sharing. So if you could click on the share button at the bottom, you can just set that up to get that ready.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if you clicked it off or.
Sure.
Okay, I see it now. Great. Okay, cool. So let's see. We got someone, Kathy from, was that Georgia?
Yep.
Nice. Let us know. Don't be shy, everybody. Where are you watching from?
Hannah's coming.
Yep, Hannah Messer from Los Angeles. Good to see you here, Hannah. Got someone, Facebook user. I'm in LA. So
Great illustrator. Yeah,
so just a reminder to give StreamYard permission to show your name and profile pics, so I'll be able to credit you when you comment or ask questions. That's the little link underneath the live, streamyard.com/Facebook.
Unless your name actually is Facebook user, then you're good.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Hello, Mr. User. First name.
Yeah, I want to change my name to user. Yes, definitely.
Maybe it's Zuckerberg spying on us, right? So Kathy says she's excited for the summit. Yeah, it's going to be great. Some good information today about it. Okay. Yep. Where is everyone watching from? Oh.
Andrew and his banner is so slick.
That's right. I got my pillows. And
I just got a little dog hanging out. That's all I got. Little dog.
I got the Guru Award.
Ooh, congratulations.
For Photoshop Artistry at Photoshop World.
Ooh, ça c'est bien.
Yeah, that's fun. Cool. Okay, we got some comments coming in. Excellent. Hannah says lots of her students signed up for the Photoshop Virtual Summit. Cool. Okay.
We have a bunch of folks coming from the entertainment industry who are signing up.
Great.
Yep. Okay.
So Dave, do you want to tell us what is the Photoshop Virtual Summit and introduce yourself and your sessions? Yeah.
Sure. Well, in a nutshell, the Photoshop Virtual Summit is an online Photoshop conference. It's all Photoshop for the whole week, October 4th through the 8th. There's 20 instructors each teaching 2 sessions, so 40 sessions totaling well over 30 hours. And the best part of all, it's free to attend, and there is a optional paid version where you can get access to the recordings after the fact, as well as other bonuses like class notes and downloadable files and bonus videos and things of that nature. But like I said, the overall registration is free, and we're very excited because it's a wonderful collection of very experienced and talented instructors teaching all kinds of different aspects of Photoshop. And Andrew, actually, if you want to show, we did a quick little promo video just to get some excitement going, to show you pictures at least of all the instructors and just some of the many topics that are being covered. So
sure,
show that.
Here we go. Excellent. Yeah, some a lot of great people in the industry in there. Good to see.
Yeah, and one of the best parts to me is, excuse me. So when I reach out to the different instructors to say, give me some class ideas. It's been really interesting to see the wide range of classes. And when you look at the list, sometimes you'll see more than one person, for example, might be talking about masking. But one of my favorite parts of an event like this is that even though there's some slight overlap, everyone has different techniques and different approaches. And it's one of the more interesting things to see how different instructors approach the similar topics. So even when you look and say, oh, that looks like a similar class, it is, but it isn't, because of the nature of the person's approach. And of course, even someone who's, whether they're very new to Photoshop or a seasoned veteran with it, watching a class that, even if it's a topic that you think like, oh, I'm pretty familiar with that, you're bound to pick up extra tips and shortcuts and ideas and things you hadn't thought of before. And I think that's what makes it very exciting.
Excellent. And what about your session itself? What is the title or theme of?
So I'm teaching two very different classes because I'm in charge, so I get to pick. So I chose one of my favorite topics, which is talking about why it's important to work non-destructively in Photoshop, because I felt like a lot of people reference things like smart objects, smart filters in terms of how to work non-destructively, but not really why. So I really delve into some of the advantages of working in a non-destructive manner. And then my other class is on, it's called Restoring Memories, but it's basically all about photo restoration of old photos that need some love. And it's, I inherited about a year or two ago a huge stack of family photos. So I've been progressively going through, and it's been a very rewarding experience. So I thought I would share some of my favorite techniques that I've figured out along the way to try and help rescue photos that need a little bit of help.
Fantastic. Excellent. And Lisa?
Hello.
Would you like to talk about your sessions?
Absolutely. Can I say,
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lisa Carney. Nice to meet y'all. We've met before, I'm sure.
Show your video first?
Yeah, I would. Okay. So I just click on the little, you do it. My name is Lisa Carney, and I'm a finisher, designer, retoucher, and photographer. And I work primarily in the entertainment industry. And I'm here to talk to you about the Photoshop Virtual Summit. It's going to be amazing. The lineup is phenomenal. Really great masters at working at Photoshop. Lots of great classes. I'm really particularly interested in the diversity of the classes. So there's at least 7 classes that deal with masking and selecting, which I think is the most important part of Photoshop. I am teaching a mastering masking class as well. I'm very excited about this. It's an overview of the best masking techniques for the right job. And in addition to that, I'm working on a mobile digital workflow. I think you might find it very interesting. Opens you up to new creative ideas using apps you can find on your iPad or your phone. So please come and join us.
Fantastic. Excellent.
Yeah,
do you
so
want to talk a bit more? Yeah, talk a bit more.
Yeah, I would. This is one of my favorite things that Dave does with this. So in this, I'm not kidding. There's 7 classes that touch on selecting or masking in some form or another. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty seasoned. I've been doing this for 30 years. And heckfire, if I didn't learn something, there's this whole, whose class is it? Let me think about that. It's Daniel's. I think it's Daniel's class, or actually Kirk Nelson's class. He's got something in his class about bokeh that's got this masking, depth capture masking technique that's amazing. Amazing. And as Dave was alluding to, it's not only that we have different perspectives, but also it helps us learn to be out of the box. So even if we have different perspectives, my watching somebody else in their workflow makes me, oh, wait, Photoshop can switch up here. If it makes any sense.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And Anya, do you want to introduce yourself? And
Sure. Should I start my slideshow?
Yeah, I'll
while I'm
add
talking?
that. There we go. And you just hit the hide button at the hide text at the bottom.
Let me hit the slideshow. Here you go.
There we go. Great.
So, hi everyone. My name is Anya. I'm a fine art conceptual photographer based in Brooklyn, New York, who specializes in on-location, surrealistic, and like fantasy-inspired female portraiture. So during Photoshop Summit, I'm going to be teaching 2 classes as well. they're also quite different one from each other. So first one is about, it's called portrait retouching workflow. And it's about different portrait retouching techniques, how to use editing and retouching as a powerful tool to enhance your portraits, bring them to the next level. Also, I'll be talking about about different retouching techniques, how to remove imperfections and what tools best to use, and, different skin retouching techniques. And also how to be, efficient in your workflow.
Excellent.
Even though my work is more like artistic and, fine art, I'm also a professional freelance retoucher. So I often work on like high-end beauty things and like commercials and advertising. So all those things that I'll be talking about, you can also implement, not just do that type of work that you see on the screen right now that I personally do, but also any portraits, including like beauty and, advertising, or any types of portraits, or even just, fine arts or like personal portraits.
Excellent.
And the second class is called Creating Simple Animations in Photoshop. So I'll be talking about how to create animations in Photoshop and like cinemagraphs. Cinemagraphs are still images that have some moving elements to them, like some minor or like repeated movement in the picture. So I will be talking about how to use a timeline in Photoshop, how to make animations using like stock video, using like layers in timeline, using like keyframes in timeline, and different blending modes and different effects, how to create those moving images.
Excellent. Yeah, excellent. So as you can see, such a great variety of different styles and focuses. So Dave, did you also want to add about some of the other themes or presentations that are coming?
Yeah, I mean, just honestly, just going down some of the names of the instructors, people like Aaron Nace, who everyone knows from Flern, and Bert Monroy. I could just sit and watch Bert work for hours without even feeling like I could ever reach his level of ability. It's just fascinating to watch what he does, and you still pick up ideas along the way. Not that I'm ever going to spend 4 years doing a gigantic portrait of Times Square, but along the way, how he did it and his thought process is just fascinating to watch. So he's got a 2-part class on creating photorealistic images. That's really cool. So yeah, there's just so many, and the best part is that. So just to explain, in case people are uncertain, with the free pass, every day there's 8 classes released. So on the hour, each hour, and a new class is released, and then it's available for the next 48 hours. So if you miss a few classes or you want to go back and rewatch it, you can. So for example, Monday's classes will be available until Wednesday, and then they go away, and so on. And so with the free pass, you get that access to watch as often as you can. However, the reality we found from the first summit is a lot of people said either the classes are so good I want to keep watching them, or I have other things going on, so I'm worried that I'm going to miss some of the sessions. So that's why we added the VIP pass, which is the optional membership, which gives you lifetime access to watch all of the recordings of the classes, as well as I mentioned before, class notes and bonuses. And I just want to touch on that for a second, because of course I am the place where all the instructors send their information to. So as an example of just some of the bonuses that are being added as we speak to the VIP area, is not just the recording of the class and the class notes, but for example, Sebastian Michaels did a couple of really interesting classes on interesting portraiture effect, compositing type things. And he told me, he said, I want to do even more. So he recorded, he said, a short bonus. It's like 32 minutes of bonus material on top of his 2 classes. Yep. And then Daniel Gregory because this is just the kind of guy he is. He did a class on one on advanced printing and one on channels. And in both cases, his bonuses include another movie, a PDF, some downloadable files that you can work with. And it's a huge bonus perk, I guess you'd say, for VIP members, as they get not only the classes to watch again, but these extras, not the least of which is having some kind of notes. Some people, including at least one person on this call, make the rest of us look bad with her notes because they're like short novels, which is awesome for everyone else. Lisa, thank you. But even ones that are just like 3 pages or 2 pages, it's still like bullet points that summarize things for you. And I think a lot of people appreciate not just watching the class, but then having these notes to refer to, as well as downloading files and kind of following along some of the things that are talked about in the classes. And that's why we did that separation of, we wanted to make sure there was free education, but also have this option for people for the VIP pass. It's currently $99 on the noon on the first day of the summit. It goes up to its regular price of $149. So it's currently in that early bird price, which ends on October 4th.
And considering you have, 20 different presenters? That's
20 instructors. Yeah.
Excellent.
40
for 5
classes.
days too, right? 5 days. 20.
And this year we did something a little different. There's actually some bonus classes. Richard Harrington is doing a bonus class on automation. And then we have a friend of my wife and myself. Suddenly occurred to me that there's a lot of stuff going on. People might need a chance to relax and take a deep breath. So we've got a yoga relaxation expert who has short videos that you can watch at your desk and get some relaxation in. And fingers crossed, I'm working on one more bonus, which we're still trying to get done, but a class on NFTs and what that's all about.
Cool.
That's
very cool.
Yeah, good discussion there. Yeah.
You know, I want to pop in for a second and just kind of tip my hat to the folks who are out there and still engaging and willing to learn and willing to, engage, because I find in my career, like I said, I've been doing this 30 years, and there's this kind of wave of retouchers. And what happens is sometimes folks get stuck. They're back in Photoshop 7. And they don't want to learn the new stuff. And they're kind of can sometimes be this arrogance of, oh yeah, I got it all. But these programs are updating so fast and so incredibly, like this AI technology and the neural filters, holy crap. And so I just want to say thank you to the folks out there who are sticking with it and learning and realizing that even though you got 10 years under your belt, you still got to pay attention and see what's coming out new. And you'll be all the better for it. And it makes for job security, I'd say.
Excellent.
Yeah, I agree. And even people there's a lot of people that use Photoshop just because their passion is photography and they just want to do interesting things with it. So even people who aren't doing it for a living, but just are eager to learn more, to say, how can I take my photos to the next level? How can I leverage, for example, Matt Kloskowski is teaching a class and really getting into the fairly recently new sky replacement feature in Photoshop and really digging into it, probably more so than I've ever seen, because it's 45 minutes just on that one thing. And he spends a lot of time digging in to show how you can really take advantage of it.
You know what? I'm going to do a little crossover. So because I knew Matt was doing that sky replacement, I actually used sky replacement for masking people in a gallery shoot. So you can actually use the sky replacement and have it help color correct an image for something that's not even a sky.
That's cool.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And Photoshop kind of automates you there. But Matt's class is going to dig really into how to use that application. And then my class shows a little twist. Like, hey, use it for something else, which is really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like with frequency separation. When it just appeared for the first time, everybody were using it for retouching skin and faces only. But then some people realized that you can do so many other things with that. For example, things like retouching clothes. It's just amazing. And I'm pretty sure there are other ways to implement that, not just portraits and skin.
Yeah, I use a skin replacement, frequency separation to do room extensions. So when we do movie posters, we have to do these banners and stuff, and frequency separation works a treat for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So just a reminder, with the whole VIP pass, I think what happens is anytime I do go to these online conferences, these summits, I put it in my calendar. I put a beautiful color to it. I say I'm going to turn off my phone, and then almost immediately, the first day, I get a phone call. Client says they need this done, or my mom calls and says, "Can you talk to your brother about?" So the truth is, try as you might, you really need to etch out some solid time, and I think it's really important to get the VIP pass so you can really take it in. Otherwise, you're going to miss the majority of things. So
yeah.
Just want to make that point.
And just that's a really good point, Andrew. And one of the I get the benefit of the comments that come in through emails and surveys that I do following the summit. And I've had so many over the last year or so of people that said, it's 8 months since the first summit, and I still go back and watch some of those videos because I remembered the idea, but I couldn't quite remember the steps. So I went back and rewatched the video for the umpteenth time to really get it, so I got a solid understanding of it. So it's not just the fact of, yes, you'll get to pick up the classes you might miss during the week, but it's that ongoing. When we say lifetime access, it means, for as long as technology allows us to, these will be available to you, so you can go back and rewatch over and over again, maybe with a fresh set of eyes. If you haven't, at the time when the summit's on, maybe you're not quite ready to really understand about channels, but then 5 months from now, you might have something going on where you think, now's the time that I'm ready to really delve into these things called channels. So I'm going to go back and watch that video that Daniel has on how to work with channels.
Right. I was gonna say, I think what happens is you're taking it in and you're like, oh, that's an amazing thing. And so you most likely will put down a note saying, go back and review that. And then you watch it more thoroughly so you can really absorb it and utilize it. So.
Well, and I go into this whole, my class is more of an overview of masking. So it talks about 7 different techniques for masking. And one of them is channels, but I touch on it in a procedural way. And then hopefully what'll happen is you get inspired, and then you'll go take the other channel class and go, oh, deep dive into channels now. Mm-hmm. So they kind of dovetail into each other.
Nice.
Now, one other thing, and maybe this is just me, but I know when I have this is my official notebook. Whenever I'm watching anything online, I have all these notes in here. And the other day I went back to look, and I remembered watching an online thing, and I found the notes, and at a certain point it said, hold shift. And I thought, at the time, that probably made really good sense to me to write that down. But now I'm looking at it going, okay, great job, Dave.
Randomly hold the shift key down.
Just
for me, it's
anytime you need it, just hold down shift. That's all you have to do. But it's like, I thought that was, at the time, scribbling notes, yes, that made good sense. But now it's like, I don't really know. Right. So again, it's that benefit of going back to look at things.
Right. I'm going to tell you a little story. When I had been living in Italy, in Florence, Italy, and I came back to go to Art Center for photography. And I thought I'd be uber cool and write all my notes in Italian, all my photography notes in Italian. And of course, how long did that Italian stay in my head? Like 5 minutes. So now I go back to my notebook and I'm like, I have no idea what any of that was. So yeah, good to watch something back.
Excellent. Cool. So any other ideas, suggestions about, what else people can take in? Is there Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. Dave, sorry.
Yes.
Also, isn't there some sponsors, right? Is there sponsors for some giveaways?
We have several sponsors this year, and including some giveaways. So we'll be doing a draw. Basically, it's just for most of them, if you just go to any day and watch, the system will tag you as being an attendee. And from those, we'll draw. And there's 2 Creative Cloud memberships. We've got some B&H gift cards.
Nice.
They'll also, we have a new sponsor, Zens Labs, who is a new on the scenes tablet manufacturer. They'll be giving away a wonderful tablet. Theirs will probably be like a, click here to enter your email to enter kind of thing. But so yeah, we got some exciting things there happening, and so that'll be a nice addition to along with just watching, the ability to potentially win something as well.
Excellent. And Lisa, you were saying, sorry that I jumped. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I jumped in. The other thing I was going to say about one of my classes, and I really appreciate Dave letting me do this. I'm entering kind of this weird territory where I'm talking about mobile workflow, and not just phone, but iPad, because there's these apps that are amazing. So there's a movie that was out, Grand Tour. It's the car guys from England, Jeremy Clarkson and company. And that was the first movie poster I ever saw where the designer took it out of Photoshop. And I'm talking big, huge, high res, put it on an iPad, used a filter, and then took it back out. And once you start embracing this kind of notion about the freedom to go back and forth, holy crap, it opens up this whole new palette, let me say, of creativity. And it's pretty amazing.
Excellent.
Nice.
That's one of my classes.
Andrew, you have a link, right, for people to get to the main site?
Yeah. So
I do want to mention that on there, there is a full schedule. There's a button that you can go and look at the schedule, and it has not only the scheduled classes, but a description of each one. So if you're looking for kind of a way to plan out to see which sessions would I really like to see, that's one of the simplest ways to do it. And there's a downloadable PDF version that just lists the classes by time if you want to have something you can print off as well.
Right. So if you should see it on any of the lives as this is going, but also with the recordings, just look for that bit.ly Photoshop Virtual Summit 3 link. And that will be in the descriptive of the recordings. I'm also going to be posting this to YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. Thanks, StreamYard. So yeah, don't make sure everyone remembers Photoshop Virtual Summit 3 is coming very soon, October 4th through 8th.
Yeah.
It's free to register. bit.ly Photoshop Virtual Summit 3. And don't forget that on Monday, October 4th at noon, the special early bird price for the VIP pass ends. Price will jump from only $99 to still pretty good, $149. So don't miss it. I mean, 20 presenters for 5 days. Excellent price. So I want to say thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and thank you so much, Dave, for putting this together. It's quite the incredible lineup.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thanks.
Any last thoughts?
Just looking forward to it. Now I got to get back to work here, getting everything organized.
Yeah, right. Excellent.
And I'm gonna do a shout out. I'm gonna suggest y'all consider taking a class that you think does not pertain to you in any way, shape, or form. Like if you're, Anya's got the animation and you think, I don't want to do animations, Photoshop, take it. Because you will be all of a sudden like, oh, wait a minute, this does apply to me and it's free. So why not? Just put it on and play. And I'm certain you will be surprised, because I was always surprised how much I learned from something that I didn't think pertained to me at all.
Yeah,
So.
and to follow
I think
up
it's a
with
good
that,
point because, sorry. Yeah, I think it's a really good point because I think these conferences, not just this one in particular, but any conference, you don't just learn something new, but you also get inspired. Something that you maybe never have thought before you can do with your photographs. It's like my class about animation. It doesn't teach you, I don't talk about going out there and create new work and create and cinematograph by shooting a video and making a cinematograph from that, but actually taking the picture that you already have that already exists in your portfolio and experiment and maybe, I don't know, add a little bit of magic to it. I'm talking about using stock video that widely available for everybody. And I'm also for VIP members, I'm sharing some of those stock videos so they can, experiment with it. And but not only using stock video, you can create animations by simply layers, adjustments and layers, and using keyframing timeline. And that it simply can be fun. It doesn't require anything. It doesn't mean that you have to, suddenly become a cinematographer. It's just, fun experience. And I for myself, even it's a new genre of, so it's not a video and it's not a photos, it's something in between. And yeah, I think it can be just inspirational to watch.
Great.
Yeah, I was going to say real quick. I'll share an experience I had. I was watching a Lightroom summit, and they were talking about presets, and I checked out a preset, and it was the wackiest, craziest preset I'd ever seen. And it completely, like to Anya's point, inspired me. And then I started this whole series about angst and being uncomfortable. And that preset set me going on this whole visual like communication. And I mean, it was dark with saturated colors, which is not my normal palette. And it was fantastic for me. Totally inspiring.
Excellent.
Nice.
I was going to say, with a virtual summit like this, there's so many opportunities to not only take what you focus on to a deeper level, but to open yourself up to something that you totally don't do. And then it might open you up to a whole new creative channel that you completely love. So
yeah,
I would completely embrace it, and don't miss it. Starting soon. October is right around the corner. So
Yeah, and because the lineup is so diverse, there's so many different people teaching different classes. So it's not just retouchers or like Photoshop educators. There's people like me who are, fine art artists, but they know a lot of things in Photoshop, and it's like can trigger creativity. So maybe not everybody wants to become a like very technical, very professional retoucher, but maybe you can learn new techniques to be more creative with your work. So it's not just how to work with channels or how to work with curves, but it's also learning new technique to be more creative and to experiment and try new things. And that's what I always talk about. Like, my techniques might seem simple sometimes when it's just basically, working with layers and applying masks, but the way I do it like thinking outside of the box, the way different people do that, they can actually, trigger outside of the box thinking and applying different techniques and be more creative and maybe, level up their portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. Nice. Lots to learn. It's coming up soon. So once again, Photoshop Virtual Summit 3 is coming October 4th through 8th. It's free to register, open now. But do be aware that if you want to be able to take it in deeper and go over at your own pace, so much knowledge to take in, that on Monday, October 4th at noon, the special early bird price for the VIP pass ends. So the price jumps from $99 to $149. So don't miss it. So bit.ly Photoshop Virtual Summit 3. The link is in the live and will be in the recording. So thanks everyone for being here. And it's going to be wonderful. Looking forward to it. And thanks everyone watching. And thanks everybody for being here. Thanks so much.
Well, see you next
week. Happy photoshopping.
Happy photoshopping.
Yeah.
And one last comment. Let's see. Kathy says, thanks all. Really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.